The air on the naval base was thick with salt and anticipation. Admiral Thompson, a man whose presence usually commanded absolute silence, was in a jovial mood. He moved down the line of fresh-faced SEAL graduates, his eyes twinkling with a mix of pride and mischief. These were the best of the best, the ones who had survived Hell Week and everything else the brutal training had thrown at them. He stopped in front of a young woman, her posture ramrod straight, her gaze fixed forward. She was one of the few women to ever make it this far, and her file was impeccable. "All right, Spitfire," the Admiral said, his voice booming. "Let's hear it. What's your call sign?" He was expecting something fierce. Maybe Valkyrie or Tigress. The other recruits chuckled, sensing the Admiral was just having a bit of fun. The woman's voice was steady, clear, and cut through the light-hearted atmosphere like a knife. "Iron Widow, sir." A ripple of confusion went through the ranks. Admiral Thompson's smile faltered, replaced by a flicker of disbelief. "Iron what? Son, I think I misheard you," he said, leaning in slightly. The woman didn't flinch. "Iron Widow, sir," she repeated, her tone unwavering. The name hung in the air, heavy and strange. It wasn't just a call sign. It felt like a declaration, a story condensed into two powerful words. The Admiral's jovial expression completely vanished. His face, usually tanned and weathered, paled. He stared at her, his mind racing. Iron Widow. It was a name he hadn't heard in years. A ghost from a past he thought was buried deep. His legs suddenly felt weak, and he stumbled back a step, his hand reaching out to grip a nearby railing for support. The recruits fell silent, their amusement turning to wide-eyed shock as they watched their seemingly invincible leader nearly collapse. "Where did you get that name?" Admiral Thompson's voice was barely a whisper, ragged and strained. He looked at the young woman, truly looked at her for the first time, searching her features, the sharp jawline, the determined set of her eyes. It was familiar, frighteningly so. "It was my father's, sir," she replied, her professional mask finally cracking to reveal a flicker of raw emotion. "He served under your command. His call sign was Ironside." The world seemed to stop for Admiral Thompson. Ironside. The name hit him like a physical blow. He remembered him vividly. Lieutenant Commander Miller. Ironside, his best friend, his right-hand man, the man who had saved his life on a dozen different missions, and who had sacrificed his own on one fateful night in a forgotten corner of the world. A night the Admiral had tried for 20 years to forget. He remembered the chaos, the deafening explosions, the shouting. They were ambushed, pinned down. Ironside had been covering their retreat. He'd created a diversion, drawing enemy fire so the rest of the team, including a younger, less experienced Thompson, could get to the extraction point. His last transmission was a calm, "Get them out, sir. I'll hold them off." Thompson had made the impossible call to leave him behind, a decision that had haunted every single day of his life since. He had been the one to deliver the news to Ironside's wife and his little girl, a child with the same fierce, determined eyes that were now staring back at him. He had promised to look after them, a promise he broke as guilt, and his career drove him further and further away. He lost contact, telling himself it was for the best, that his presence was just a painful reminder. Now that little girl stood before him, no longer a child, but a warrior forged in the same fires as her father. She had not only followed in his footsteps, but had surpassed them, earning her place in the elite unit he now commanded. She hadn't done it for revenge or for glory. She had done it to honor him, to carry the legacy of Ironside forward. The widow in her call sign wasn't for a lost husband, it was for a lost father. a piece of her heart left on a battlefield far away. She was the inheritor of his iron will. The Admiral looked at her. His vision blurred with tears. He refused to let fall. He saw the strength, the resilience, the echo of his lost friend. He saw a legacy, not of loss, but of incredible, unbreakable strength. The weight that had crushed his shoulders for 2 decades began to lift, replaced by a profound sense of awe and humility. Slowly, shakily, Admiral Thompson pushed himself off the railing. He walked forward until he was standing directly in front of her. The entire base seemed to hold its breath. He didn't offer a handshake or a formal commendation. Instead, he raised his hand and gave her the crispest, most heartfelt salute of his entire career. It wasn't a salute from an admiral to a subordinate. It was a salute from one warrior to another. It was a salute from a man to the daughter of the hero who had saved him. "Welcome to the SEALs, Iron Widow," he said, his voice thick with emotion, but filled with a newfound respect that resonated deeper than any order he had ever given. "Your father would be so damn proud." In that moment, on that sun-drenched tarmac, a ghost was laid to rest, and a new legend was born. She had carried the weight of her father's sacrifice, not as a burden, but as a shield. Her call sign wasn't a mark of sorrow, but a testament to her heritage and the unyielding spirit passed down from father to daughter. For the other recruits, this was a lesson more profound than any they had learned in training. They saw that behind every call sign, there's a story, a history, and a human heart. They saw the true meaning of legacy and the unbreakable bonds that tie the members of this elite brotherhood and sisterhood together. It wasn't just about strength or skill, it was about the why. An Iron Widow's why was powerful enough to make an admiral collapse and then rise again, redeemed. As the ceremony concluded, a quiet understanding passed between the admiral and the young SEAL. Words were no longer necessary. He saw the honor she brought to her father's name, and she saw the respect and closure in his eyes. Her journey had been a silent tribute, a way to connect with the father she barely knew by walking the path he had walked. And for Admiral Thompson, her arrival was a second chance, a chance to mentor the daughter of the man he couldn't save, to ensure his legacy thrived, and to finally forgive himself. The story of Iron Widow spread through the ranks like wildfire, becoming a new kind of legend on the base. It served as a powerful reminder that the greatest strength often comes from the deepest love, and that true heroes never really die. Their spirit lives on in those they inspire. And so, as the sun set over the ocean, casting long shadows across the naval base, a new chapter began. For Admiral Thompson, it was a chapter of mentorship and redemption. For the young woman known as Iron Widow, it was the true beginning of her own story, no longer living in her father's shadow, but standing proudly beside his legacy, ready to forge her own. Her call sign, once a source of shock and confusion, was now a symbol of honor, resilience, and the enduring power of family. It was a name that would be spoken with reverence and respect for years to come. Thank you so much for watching this story unfold with us. If you were moved by the legacy of Iron Widow, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that honors the spirit of true heroes. We love sharing these powerful moments with you. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss a video. We'll see you in the next one.